Schopenhauer is well known for his clear and lucid writing style, a rare accomplishment in the field of philosophy and even more rare in German philosophy. What is the secret to his style? Thankfully, he has blessed us with an essay on exactly this topic. In this video, we're sharing the tips Schopenhauer wrote down for us in his essay on authorship and style. You can download the entire essay by clicking the link in the description. Without further ado, let's jump in. First tip: have something to say. This may seem obvious, but Schopenhauer is reacting to the kind of content we are all familiar with. The type of content that is obviously written just to make a quick buck. Something to fill the newspaper with. You shouldn't write just to write, nor should you write just to make money. Having a message comes first, and without that foundation, it doesn't matter how well you can write or how good your style is. There needs to be substance to your writing. Second tip: keep it concise. You can recognize writers who have nothing to say by their style, in which they spin out their thoughts to the greatest possible length. It is soon recognized that they write for the sake of filling up the paper. As soon as this is perceived, the book should be thrown away, for time is precious. Nothing is easier than to write so that no one can understand. On the other hand, nothing is more difficult than to express learned ideas so that everyone must understand them. Third tip: don't write for money. It seems as if money lay under a curse. For every author deteriorates directly he writes in any way for the sake of money. The best works of great men all come from the time when they had to write either for nothing or for very little pay. Fourth tip: think before you write. Let's say you have a message you want to convey you feel is important to share with the world. Don't just start writing, think things through. This will also help you to be more concise in your writing. Again, this seems like an obvious tip, but I think Schopenhauer is touching on something we can all relate to. It may be said that there are three kinds of authors. In the first place, there are those who write without thinking. They write from memory, from reminiscences, or even direct from other people's books. This class is the most numerous. In the second, those who think while they are writing. They think in order to write, and they are numerous. In the third place, there are those who have thought before they begin to write. They write solely because they have thought, and they are rare. Above all, think about the subject itself. Don't just think about the opinions of others on the subject, and don't restrict your thinking to reading other books on the subject. You must have direct acquaintance with whatever subject you want to write about. It is only the writer who takes the material on which he writes direct out of his own head that is worth reading. Book manufacturers, compilers, and the ordinary history writers, and others like them, take their material straight out of books. It passes into their fingers without its having paid transit duty or undergone inspection when it was in their heads, to say nothing of elaboration. Fifth tip: choose a good title. A good title is original, pregnant with meaning, and not misleading. Above all, a good title ensures you actually reach your audience. An example of a good title would be Schopenhauer's magnum opus, The World as Will and Representation. If you have watched our series on this book, you'll know why. The title expresses the main thought of this gigantic book in just 6 words. In a way, if you really understand the title, you don't need the rest of the book. This is a great example of a pregnant title. Everything you need is in there, even if it's not yet fully developed. Sixth tip: form over matter. Schopenhauer makes a distinction between matter and form. The matter is what the book is about. The form is what the writer thinks about the matter. Some books become successful only because of their subject matter. For example, the travels of Marco Polo. Why? Because Marco Polo was able to write about a unique experience, which was not accessible to the public at that time. This also means that it doesn't really matter much how good of an author Marco Polo was. If you wanted to learn about Asia in the 14th century, you had to read this book. You had no other choice. This is why Schopenhauer has little praise for this type of book. The best books are found in the opposite direction. Writers who write well about really mundane experiences. You can see this echoed in Schopenhauer's top 4 favorite books, which we have done a video on. The value of a piece of writing is found in the form, in the thoughts of the author, not in the subject matter itself. Romeo and Juliet is just a simple story about love, but what makes it a classic? Shakespeare's impeccable form. 7th tip. Find your own voice. To imitate another person's style is like wearing a mask. However fine the mask, it soon becomes insipid and intolerable, because it is without life, so that even the ugliest living face is better. Thank you for watching this video. Again, if you want to read the entire essay yourself, there's a link to it in the description. We have also done videos on Schopenhauer's rules for not reading and on his 4 favorite books. If you found this video valuable, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps out the channel a great deal. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.